In the heart of Aragbiji, a Yoruba village nestled beneath the scorching African sun, stood the mighty Iroko tree, a symbol of power, unity, and the watchful eyes of the ancestors. Under its shade, friendships were forged, promises were made, and, sometimes, destinies were shattered. This is the story of Adetokunbo and Oluwadamila, brothers in bond, torn apart by envy and betrayal. Adetokunbo, known as Toks, and Oluwadamila, called Dami, were inseparable as boys. Beneath the towering Iroko tree, they played, laughed, and dreamed of a bright future. One day, Toks would say, pointing to the sky, "We'll lead this village together." And Dami would nod, smiling, though deep down he wondered, could someone like him, a palm wine tapper's son, ever rise to greatness? As they carved their initials into the Iroko's bark, the tree swayed gently, as if whispering a warning of what was to come. Years passed, and Toks grew into a man loved by the villagers. His charm, kindness, and leadership were unmatched. On the day his father named him the next chief, the village erupted in celebration, but amid the cheers, Dami stood in the shadows, clapping half-heartedly. A seed of envy had taken root. That evening, as the village slept, Dami approached Toks. Dami said bitterly, "You're destined for greatness, Toks. But what about me? What is my place?" Toks warmly replied, "You're my brother, Dami. When I rise, you rise too." But to Dami, those words felt like chains, tying him to the role of a follower. The final blow came when Toks announced his engagement to Morayo, the village healer's daughter. Dami's heart shattered. He had loved her in secret for years. That night, Dami sat under the Iroko tree, his mind swirling with bitterness. Dami whispered to himself, why does he get everything? The love, the power, the respect? As the tree trembled, shadows danced around him, as though feeding off his anger. Deep in the forest, a voice called to him, a voice that promised power. Dami ventured into the forbidden forest, where no man dared tread. The air grew colder, the trees twisted unnaturally, and the ground seemed to pulse beneath his feet. He arrived at a clearing where a figure emerged, Age, the feared priestess. Her eyes gleamed like embers, and her voice was as sharp as broken glass. Age mockingly said, "What does the child of Aragbiji seek?" Dami desperately replied, "Power. I want him to fall. I want respect." Age handed him a calabash filled with a dark, swirling liquid. Age replied warmly, "Drink, and the shadows will obey you. But remember, child, the spirits always take their price." Dami hesitated, then drank. Strange things began to happen in Aragbiji. The crops withered, the livestock fell ill, and whispers of a curse spread through the village. Dami, emboldened by the shadows, planted doubt among the people. Dami convincingly told the villagers, "Have you noticed? Since Toks became chief, misfortune has followed. Perhaps, the ancestors are displeased." The people, once loyal, began to turn on their beloved leader. One fateful night, Toks knelt beneath the Iroko, praying for answers. The tree trembled, its branches swaying violently. Suddenly, Dami stepped from the shadows, his eyes glowing with dark power. Toks pleadingly said, "Dami, why? We were brothers." Dami replied coldly, "Brothers? You took everything from me." Dami unleashed the shadows, but the Iroko fought back. Its roots rose to protect Toks, glowing with ancestral light. The battle raged, darkness against light, envy against love. But envy is no match for the power of unity. The Iroko's light overwhelmed the darkness, and Dami fell to his knees. As Age's voice echoed through the night, the shadows came for him. Age mockingly said, "The price must be paid." Dami cried out, but it was too late. The shadows dragged him into the earth. The villagers watched, their hearts heavy with grief. Toks knelt beneath the Iroko, tears streaming down his face. Toks said softly, "Dami. I'm sorry." Under the restored Iroko, Toks addressed his people. Toks firmly said, "Let envy and bitterness teach us, not destroy us. Together, we will rebuild." And so, life returned to Aragbiji. The Iroko tree stood tall, its branches reaching for the sky, a reminder of the power of forgiveness and the dangers of envy. story of Toks and Dami became a lesson passed down through generations, whispered under the shade of the Iroko.